The Fan Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection. I don't know why I said before I said that, but it is. And joining us now on the Fan Hotline is former Bucco, current Bucco analyst Jordy Mercer. Fan Hotline presented by Sullivan Super Service, providing trusted plumbing and HVAC service for over 50 years. Neil Walker not going to be with us next Monday, so Jordy is going to sit in for Neil then. We wanted to do a little preview deal here. Jordy, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on. How are you today?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good.
They going to update that headshot for you on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Everyone else is so professional, and there you are. You got your hair all ratty and stuff. What are they doing to you?
Man, that was a pretty crazy deal, huh? And actually, it was out of the blue, too. I had no idea that was coming on there until it came on the screen. Apparently, they didn't have a headshot at the time, not with a hat on, basically. And so they had to, just go through some images somewhere online or somewhere. I don't know how they did it, but we got that updated, though, last night. So thank God we changed that, because that was pretty rough.
We wanted to have you on as an Oklahoma State guy to talk about Mike Gundy. No, just kidding. So I was just pulling it up, Jordy. The 2012 Pirates, you guys started 60-44, and then ultimately things didn't go so hot down the stretch, and so you guys finished 4 games under 500. Then, of course, all the magic started happening in 2013. Does this team remind you, the one that we're currently watching, of one that could find a 2013 kind of magic in the second half, or do you think this might kind of be the year before the year for these guys?
It's really hard to tell right now. I mean, the pitching is in place. I think that's one of the most important things. Is, as you guys know, pitching wins. I mean, that's the name of the game here in the game of baseball, is having these young arms at the top of the rotation. Having Mitch be around, be that, not necessarily veteran guy, but be the Pirate guy. He's been around the organization for the longest, and having those guys set in place reminds me a lot of that, having our big guys that we had too as well. It's just a matter, to me, it's a matter of adding those key pieces like we did, and those guys that fit in, those guys that can bring that a little bit of leadership, and especially on the offensive side is what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of key places and things in place, and the future looks amazing. I mean, I'm telling you what, to have these arms like the Pirates have right now, and all they're going to do is get better, develop, and continue to learn, continue to know what to do when they face hitters or teams over and over and over, and especially in the division. It's just going to be fun to watch down the road.
Jordy, how can this team find consistency? I mean, you watch games like 2 days ago and they scored 12 runs, and then you watch a game yesterday and they don't score 1 run at all. How can a team, and there's individuals that find consistency. I get that in baseball, like Brian Reynolds. I mean, having a 25-game hitting streak, he's been consistent really throughout the season. But how can a whole team together collectively find consistency in the middle of a season?
You know what? That's also the name of the game too, and I don't know if I have that answer, to be honest with you, because baseball is all about consistency, right? I mean, if you can stay consistent for the most part, I mean, you guys are going to be pretty good in general. We all are in general, right? In the game, I don't know. They just haven't found that quite of how to make a run yet, of how to put consecutive games together. I don't know whether it's running into a good pitcher or running into somebody that's completely shut them down, whatever it is, but they just haven't found that success in, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row where they can put everything together and keep everything moving down the line.
How did Clint Hurdle help you guys with that kind of thing? Because as we were kind of comparing and contrasting earlier in the show, the core that you guys had in 13 to the core that these guys are starting to grow here in 2024. The one thing we didn't mention was the manager, and I feel like that probably has a lot to do with not riding the highs, not riding the lows, but sort of finding that consistency.
Yeah, for me, Hurdle was more of a motivational guy, man. I mean, he always had speeches, he always had good quotes, he always had things that, he's been around, right? He's been around, seen a lot of baseball before. Not to say Shelty hasn't either, but he has too as well. But to me, I'm not inside, the walls there and their meetings and whatnot, but Hurdle was always a motivational guy, always continued to press forward, always moved forward, whether it was a tough loss or a win even. I mean, it was, the next game. That's how he approached it. And I always liked that. I always enjoyed that. I always enjoyed that you can't this game is season's so long. There's too many games to play, right? So you got to continue to move on, move forward. And I felt like he instilled in us a good job of that.
Jordy, do you think that Paul Skeens was deserving of his All-Star recognition, his All-Star game honor coming up here in the next week? Do you think he's deserving of that with just a small sample size of games?
I honestly think he should start. I mean, that's kind of my opinion. I mean, I think he's unbelievable. I think we're witnessing something that's it's pretty special. When those guys come around, there's not very many of them. The Max Scherzers, the Justin Verlanders, the type of guys like that that's been in the league for a long time, that knows how to pitch, that are continuous all-stars. Those guys just come to mind for me because, that was kind of my era and I faced him a bunch, but he's got that pedigree. He's got everything that you want, in a pitcher, in a frontline starting pitcher that's going to be an all-star for a long time if he can stay healthy. I think that's the big key for everybody, right, is can he hold up? Can this guy stay around for a long time and continue to do what he's doing? And there's no question that he can. I mean, there's no question. So I think he should start. I think he's much deserved. I think he's obviously, if you ask around the league, I don't think anybody wants to face him. And what he's doing with so little experience too. This game, there's so many good hitters and so much information about you, right? And to be able to do what he does on a consistent basis, and it's only 10 starts, going to be 11 today, but it's pretty special what he's doing.
Jordy Mercer, our guest here on the Fan Morning Show. It seems that he's not just a guy up there that throws really hard and has devastating stuff. Like, we all knew that coming in, and then just watching the highlights, or if you caught a game here or there in AAA, you knew, okay, he's just blowing dudes away. He's come up here and then he's pitched. Like, a couple of dudes hit homers off of fastballs to lead off games. And, okay, I'll just mix that 95-mile-an-hour splinter in there, and he's hitting corners and he's going up and down. Like, how often do you see that from a guy who's 22 years old? And not only does he have the stuff, but it seems like he really knows how to pitch.
Well, I think to me that's what makes him even more special is the adjustments he's already made, especially in-game adjustments when maybe early on he's getting a few barrels that he didn't want, and then now he's mixing it up, and then he's pretty much untouchable the rest of the way. Being that young and being able to adjust that early, in-game adjustment that quick, and then like you just mentioned, he already came up with a new pitch, right? And he's most people don't even do that until they get, established in the league a little bit older, can figure out kind of what they want to do and make adjustments. But he's doing it on the fly. He's doing it early. He's doing it quickly. And, he's always going to have that heater, right? He's always going to have that good fastball. But if you can mix in a couple other pitches like he does and he can locate too, my goodness, it makes it really tough.
Jordy, you're the perfect person to answer this question, and I'm a former football guy, so talking to a former shortstop can really put me in my place if I need to be put in my place. With O'Neal Cruz's raw ability, size, his strength, his speed, do you think the Pirates should explore putting him in the outfield?
Oh, I thought you were going to mention about tight end. Okay, never mind.
There he goes.
I don't know yet. That's the thing is I don't know yet. To me, he's so athletic. Like, that's why he's playing there right now, because he's so athletic, right? I think down the road, I think they're going to have to explore probably something else. And the reason for that is the health-wise. Can he continue to stay healthy, continue to play every day there? It's a very demanding position. It's a very demanding spot to play in the big leagues. It's a premier position. It is. I mean, to be able, the good ones go out there and play every single day, and it's really hard to do that, especially being that tall, right? So I don't know yet, but he's so gifted and so athletic. It's fun to watch him play there. It's fun to let it play out for just a little bit. Now, you can't go to third really, because if you look to your right, there's a Gold Glover over there too as well, and he's going to be here for a while too. So maybe a transition of flipping those two would be, I think a good opportunity. I think Key Bryant can play some really good shortstop too. So I don't know. I think there's plenty of options, obviously, to keep his back in the lineup. He's a very exciting player. He's got tons of tools, and I'm continuing to excited to watch him grow too.
Andrew McCutchen is slightly younger than you, Jordy. How's that make you feel?
Old.
I mean, how crazy is it that he is 37 years old and he's been game in, game out one of their more consistent players this year?
Well, it just goes to show you what type of player he's been in his career, and what type of guy, clubhouse guy, all the above. Just really a continuous leader. When you think of Pittsburgh, in my days, I know I'm a little bit younger than probably the audience here, but I think of him, right? I think of him, and I think of, you guys might think of Barry or Bobby or whatever, but or Pops or Roberto. Obviously, he's one of the best that ever do it too. But my age, my generation here, I think of Kutch. That's what I do, right? So to be able to, I think it was so cool for him to come back and continuing to play at a level where it's pretty good, right? It's not his all-star level, what he's normally playing, right? Because he is 37, but he's still putting up numbers. He's still delivering. He's still doing great things. And I think the most important thing is he's leading a young group, and they're evolving and they're continuing to get better. And that's what I enjoy the most.
Jordy, this was a lot of fun, man. We really appreciate you coming on. So your thoughts on Gundy? I'm just kidding.
Well, hey, you know what? We're going to win 10 games again, and you know what? We're going to move on. That's the part about Gundy. He's a very out there, and he continues to say what's on his mind, which you got to appreciate too as well. But
yeah, I don't think he means any harm by anything.
No.
I just think he's kind of, a unique dude. As long as one of those 10 wins isn't over my West Virginia Mountaineers, I think we'll be okay here, Jordy.
I got you.
Thanks for the time, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordy.
Take care.